Hello everybody. We're going up against cards and junk for our opponent. The opponent goes first. I have been playtesting this. I have not gotten to go first yet. I've been facing a lot of oversized decks. Here's more than 100 cards. And we'll see if my luck changes. Arena does not like this deck. But basically I've been 100% opponent goes first every time. But it's a Mind Splice Apparatus deck, and it's an X spell deck. So all the other spells, almost always going to be sorceries, and almost always going to have an X in them. One of the first X spells was Fireball. It's a classic spell. It's an awesome spell. I don't need two of those, I don't think. Just need one good one. One good one that doesn't get destroyed. Herbrass Forge. We can counter that. And I think we need to. And we need the land. We need a lot of land for this deck. Wow, Millennium Calendar, interesting. So we've got a clock now. And we might have to put up with the all will be one type of thing. What do we want to do with this? I think it's okay to do... Hang on. Let's do this. We'll spend everything. Get a goblin. If they attack us, we've at least got a good chump blocker. Okay, the pile that we choose from this is going to go in their hand, but we only get to see one of the piles. So, Atali, Campbell. Yeah, let's have them get the first pile in there. Now the problem is it may be a reanimator deck, and they may be able to reanimate Atali. We're going to find out real soon if we made an even bigger mistake. Blue Sun's Twilight. I guess we keep that. Let's go ahead and bring this down. And that is all we will do for now.
This fight is for every Mirrodin. It's our land.
Okay, these are almost all target creatures. Yeah, that's all target creatures, and that's target creature. So I guess we're going to go ahead and try and go after that, but probably should have used the Restless Vine stock. They're outdrawing me on land. Ah, that's an easy way to outdraw me on land. They're taking my land now.
I'll never forget the home we lost.
Do you think they're trying to get the emblem? And the dragon comes out. That's kind of good, actually. Untapped land would be best here. But, oh, hang on. I don't think we need it. But we got it. I want 5 extra mana here because we want to get a duplicate of that dragon. If they have a removal spell, they kind of need to use it now on their own dragon, or I'm going to get 2 dragons. Okay, too late. Sweet. They've only got 1 card, so kind of interesting to see what they want to try and do. But I feel good that we're going to beat the clock on Millennium Calendar now. That is just not a problem. Okay, so they've got 2 more in their hand and the 1 card of mine that they still haven't played from exile yet. 2 damage. Okay, what else? You gotta have something more you can do. There we go.
My resolve never dies.
"54 counters on Millennium Calendar. Not a problem. Let's see. Twice damage. Bam. Now, do I still have enough to... No, I don't. I'll just hit for 4. And I think we can... Alright, I think if they come up with any creatures at all against us, we're going to be just fine. So let's see, if they went to 130, then 260, then 520, so I'm about 4 turns away from the Millennium Calendar. Nice. Unloaded their hand, got a card refill, used all of their land. They revealed what they had, and they lost a lot of energy. Well, that's a lot of energy to lose. That's a lot of life to lose. They were kind of desperate trying to find an answer. Did not get it. Alright, let's go in and show you the entire deck. Here we are. This one's called All My X's. I love doing X spells. I've always wanted to do a deck comprised entirely of X spells. It wasn't always possible, but this card makes it possible. Mind Splice Apparatus. This is one of my favorite cards. I have an entire playlist, so if you get to the end of this video and you like this card, you can find other decks that I've done with the previous rotation. Since we've had a new rotation, I decided let's go in and take a look at what all of the cards that are labeled X in our modern environment are. And let's see what we can do. They got to be instants or sorceries. Most of them happen to be sorceries. But let's go through and show you what we got. We got 1 Minor Misstep, just to counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. 1 Phantom Interference. The Spree spells are very good, although they don't count like X spells. They kind of do almost, right? Because in order to cast all of the effects on this one, we would need 5 mana, only one of which would need to be blue. So if we had a Mind Splice Apparatus out, and we had 4 counters on it, we would just need 1 blue to pay for the colored cost, and then it would basically be, we could do everything. We could create the 2/2 white spirit creature and counter the spell for only 1 blue mana. So if you don't want to do X spells, what I'm thinking of doing next time is making a spree deck with Mind Splice Apparatus. Anyway, we also have 3 steps ahead, so there's another spree card. We're mostly using these for counter spells. Then we've got the X damage spells. So this is like a creature burn deck. If they have creatures, we should be pretty good, unless they put out like 2, 3, 4 at a time, which in this environment they can. Wizards loves tokens. They're making more creatures and other cards that generate tokens more than ever before, and they're usually coming out as a bunch of 1/1s. So technically, I should probably have a couple of Brothers War cards, Brotherhood's End cards to do a mass wipe, but I don't because the theme is X spells. So I got 4 copies of Hell to Pay. Deals X damage to target creature. If I do excess damage, I get a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the amount of excess damage. So if I do this on a 1/1 and I make X5, we're actually going to kill it with 1 point of damage and then get 4 treasure tokens that are tapped. Mishra's Command, another X spell. You choose target player. They can discard up to X cards and then draw a card. And then the other choices, we can deal X damage to target creature, X damage to target planeswalker, or target creature gets XO and gains haste until end of turn. So this is 4 copies in here, so if we do come up against planeswalkers, we do have a way to actually hurt them. We've got 1 Song of Toten's Hands. Create a number of black rat creature tokens. They can't block, but if it's beneficent to us, we could have them attack the turn they get in. And the nice thing is I could play this virtually any time during the game, and if the Mind Splice Apparatus is out, it's just going to be even more overwhelming. 4 copies of Torch the Witness. Deals twice X damage to target creature, and if excess damage was dealt to the creature this way, you get to investigate until you get a clue. Excuse me. Change the equation. Another counter spell. This one counters targets with mana value 2 or less, or if it's a red or green, I can counter 6 or less cost spells. 3 copies of Blue Sun's Twilight. This is a favorite to use with Mind Splice Apparatus. What we're missing is we're missing the card Syncopate, which was a counterspell, an X blue counterspell that was really perfect to run with Mind Splice Apparatus. It's kind of sad. Any kind of power sync type effect with an X. A couple of expansions come out since then, but whatever. Without having access to a nice card like Syncopate. But I have 3 copies of Blue Sun's Twilight. You pay 2 and X. You gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, you create a token that's a copy of that creature. You could actually use this on your own creatures if you want. Be careful if you use this on Legendary, because you only get to keep 1 Legendary. So if you're taking control of a 2-cost Legendary, don't pay the 5. 3 draw spells. Silver Scrutiny, they're X spells. If we get Mind Splice Apparatus down, we can just refill our hand. It's really valuable once you get into like turn 5, 6, 7 in the game if you get an Apparatus down. 1 Goblin Negotiation. This is one of the newer Foundation cards. 2 red and X. Deals X damage to target creature. You create a number of 1/1 red Goblin creature tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature that way. 1 Awaken the Woods. Create 1/1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. Did I mention that Wizards is getting really good about making creature token cards and that they're always a bunch of 1/1s? These are the 2 X spells for creating 1/1 tokens. Put 1 each of those in there. 2 World Soul's Rage. A green and a red. Deals X damage to any target. Land cards from your hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Doppelgang is a 3X spell with the green and the blue. So for each of X target permanents, you create X tokens that are copies of that permanent. So if X is 1, then I'm just copying 1 permanent. If X is 2, then I need 8 mana to copy 2 different permanents. And if 3 means I need 9 for the X, and then there's still the 1 green and 1 blue. So then we would need 11. So again, this is something that the longer the game goes on, the more counters I have Mind Splice Apparatus, the more I'm going to be able to use this card, the more powerful it's going to be. And to end it, I do have 4 creatures. Hearth Elemental. We have the Sorcery Stoke Genius, where we can discard our hand, then draw 2 cards. And then the spell itself costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant cards, sorcery cards, or have an adventure. So depending on when I have this able to cast, if I have 5 instants or sorceries in the graveyard, then this will only cast 1 red mana. So in a deck that features the Mind Splice apparatus, where everything just gets cheaper and cheaper, this creature also benefits from getting cheaper and cheaper, also involving instants and sorceries. And that's about it. You know, I got a bunch of red, green, and blue. And most of it's tap lands. I got a couple of creature lands in there, 1 demolition field as usual, and a lot of surveil, so that if I'm not getting what I need, I can throw it in the graveyard. Since most of my X spells are sorceries, that's going to power up my creature so that I can make the creature cheaper to cast. And I don't necessarily feel bad if I throw a land into the graveyard, because eventually I'll get one of those World Soul Rages, and I'll be able to get all that land back. And this is what Arena does. Arena does a couple of different things to me with this deck. They'll, of course, they'll land starve me or land flood me. I don't get a lot of flooding. I get a lot of starvation. Or it'll give me 2 Mind Splice apparatuses in the opening hand. That's fine. Let's see. That'll cost 2. Let's see what else we got under here. Awaken the Woods. No, that is... I'm not going to necessarily have 2 green sources anytime soon. So that's not going to work. I need to get a little bit faster so I don't die of poison right away. And we're going to be in trouble. I guess we can go ahead and get rid of this one now. And Duke of Earl of Squirrel is slowed down to think for a minute. That's a lot of nothing. Okay, now they can also activate the Seed Core, right? Oh, they just had another bloated contaminator. Great. Alright, I mean, this is probably not going to work, but we'll try it this way to start with. Usually when they have this, if they have both white and green, they've got at least 1 removal spell at this point, so... Yep. They got exactly what they needed. The bigger green creatures for very cheap. And of course you saw we got the 2 Mind Splice apparatus, and we did not get anywhere near the amount of time that we would need. We need a little bit of time and space to put those out. And they're taking so long, we're just going to go. Because there was nothing left for us to do. We were going to die of poison right away. They got to go first. They got the threats out. There was just no tempo that we could get rid of them at the same pace they were putting them out. It's one advantage that green still gets, is they get to put out slightly larger for a cheaper cost for their creatures. And X spells are not bad, but we sort of need to have the same amount of land as creature toughness. Let's put this out, so this way we can do a minor misstep anytime we might need to. There's no cards in the graveyard yet, so this isn't going to work just yet. So we might have a little bit of time. waiting. And we're waiting. Okay, this will let us do 3 steps ahead. And this will give us the red that we need to start casting our removal spells. Well, Tazri, huh? No, we're not going to allow Tazri. Can only afford to do one thing at a time right now. And we don't like the removal, so how about let's do this one. Three treasure tokens. Now we're kind of greedy there. We wanted all 3 treasure tokens so they can cast something. Ah, Myrel. Okay, interesting. Let's just do one of these, and then we'll do 4, 5. Man, that was kind of overkill. I forgot that was twice the amount of damage for Torch. Sometimes I get Torch the Witness and Hell to Pay mixed up. That's kind of a setup. That's good. It's good for them. We'll take that. Let's do Awaken the Woods. 4 is a good number. Burn up 1 more treasure. Nice. How about 6 rats? We'll see if they have a second split up already. They do not. There's no aura equipment in the graveyard, so they can't... Oh, but they might have something in their hand. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what are they going to exile? They'll exile the 1/1 rat? Not the biggest problem. Okay, so we've got Ward 2. What can we do against that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Well, it's legendary. We would need the 5 anyway, right? I guess we're just going to try and destroy it. Pay the 2. Cost us everything we have. We get 1 tap treasure back. Don't have to worry about the lifelink, though, and our rats get another good hit. What is this? Wandering Rescuer with double strike. I think we can take care of that, can't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. It cost 5. We need to pay the 5 to get it. We'll just keep the legendary part. And this will go get blue so we can power up Minor Misstep again. And then we get another hit in with the rats for 5. And we've done good at taking away all the threats as they come up. Okay, there goes the Wandering Rescuer. They're getting rid of their own creature. And they get a blocker out. Oh, I should use Minor Misstep. That's okay. Even with that mistake, they don't have anything to stop the other 4 rats from getting through. And we just put them out of their misery now. Life is good. If things go slow enough, if they don't have a deadly threat or like an oversized threat that I can't deal with every single turn, then I should be able to build up a nice little storehouse of X spells to deal with them. So I won't necessarily need Mind Slice Apparatus every game, but the deck is really designed around having it. Okay, they do nothing. I love that. Another land, we need that. We desperately need the lands up front. We need at least 4 just to get down an apparatus to fuel the rest of the deck. We do need a ton of mana overall. I guess I'll keep that. It's possible that's a mistake. What do we want to do here? I think we just keep open for the counterspell for a turn. Can't really stop that. We can't stop the second one. No reason to give them that much card draw up front. Okay, now we go ahead and we make some 1/1s. And if they don't remove things, that gives us up to 8 mana. And they're just going to cast that right onto the field, right? Okay. I think we're okay with that. Let's do another island. And then it's an enchantment creature, but it's not legendary. We can afford this with our 1/1s. So we'll pay the 5. And it is ours. And we get a land, and we still get to attack. And because we paid 5, we had to pay 5 because that was the summoning cost, that was the mana cost, but we got a second one because of 5 through the Blue Sun's Twilight. None of that matters now that they have the board wipe. And they just have another one. They don't have enough to summon it in the same turn. I think I mean, there's normally you're not supposed to do this, right? I'm doing this wrong. Because since it has flash, you can sort of wait till it's their turn. But, you know, it's been a long day and we've already won a couple of battles, so I'm going to show our hand sort of early, so to speak. These are all sorceries anyway, so it's not like I would have been able to cast an instant otherwise, but normally you are supposed to keep them guessing. Why would they spend that? Now, this is one of the spells that I would take, and it's another X spell if I was black. I couldn't quite put black in. Oh, they wanted Virtue of Persistence, that's why. Okay, what can we do against these people? Torch the Witness is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can just do 7 damage to them now. Oh, wait, why do I need to pay 8? Oh, that's right. Okay, so just 6. get this back. So that was what they took with Outrageous Robbery, right? They took that away. Shieldred. And they get rid of another spell. They'll probably get rid of World Soul's Rage, right? They get rid of Mishra's Command instead. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and draw. Pardon me while I go get some more land. Go get the final mountain. Okay, let's see. We can I do 10? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Yes, I can. Okay, so I think we need to get rid of Shieldred. 2 of that cost comes from Mind Splice Apparatus. We get this back. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We pay, we have just enough. We're going to deal twice the damage, so we get the Investigate. And then we can use this to discard our hand, which has nothing in it, and draw 2 cards. Place the land down. Pass the turn. Our opponent was unsatisfied with the speed at which we did that and made sure to let me know it was still my turn. And I think we're going to die because I can't use my draw spell now because they keep bringing Shieldred back. And really the key is I was hoping they would bring back anything else. Why is it not letting me draw? Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and let them have this one. I'll go ahead and draw the next card. I would sort of need to be drawing 2 burn spells each time, and instead I just got 2 lands, so Arena just flooded me out. We will go away. Shieldred the Apocalypse is the curse of this deck. It's the kryptonite because I have 3 Silver Scrutinies. One of the biggest advantages is the ability to go ahead and draw extra cards at a certain point in the game. And one of the big things that happened when I was first playtesting this a few days back is I ran into just a ton of Shieldreds, and I hadn't seen Shieldred in a while. I thought he had gone out of, or she had gone out of favor. As soon as I started playing this deck, I would have like an on-curve turn 4 Shieldred. I would destroy it. They would just have a second one behind it. Sometimes I'd be able to destroy 2 in a row, just because the deck is that good. But yeah, it's really amazing exactly how many Shieldreds that I'm coming up against these days with this particular deck. We'll just play all our tap land up front. And you see here we're facing black again. And here I'll play Mind Splice Apparatus the correct way this time. And we'll flash out when it's basically too late for them to do anything. Okay, next we surveil. Yeah, I like having the creature. We've got a couple of them already. I don't have World Soul Rage. Let me go ahead and do this. We'll do this for 2. We'll target me, get rid of you. Auto pay. We'll go ahead and get rid of 1 land just so we can draw the Hearth Elemental. And we'll pass the turn. And they have more than 200 cards, and they're stuck on 2 land. So we're not really afraid of anything. We can just cast this normally. And they threw away a planeswalker instead of a creature. If they get 4 mana, they can bring any creature back. It's a nice little card. What happens? Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Can I get 7 out of this already? That's a lot of 1/1s. I like that. That kind of froze them. Vampire Nighthawk. The simplified Nighthawk Scavenger. What do we want to do here? We could be greedy. How much of this do we want to do? If I save this, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How much of that do I need for blue? 2 blue? So if I do this for 4... Let's go 5. Bingo. Okay. So we can put this puppy down. We'll go ahead and go get another island. Perfect. And then we'll just pass the turn. Full-handed cards, just like them. Only we've got, not even counting all the elves that can generate mana, we've actually got twice as much land as them. Okay, they get their Vine Wrap Mentor back. I didn't counter that, you notice. And we let them go ahead and come and hit us. And we're okay with all of that. Tone Taz, that's nice. We can get a Fabled Passage back, right? Let's get rid of their flyer and get both of those back. We get to scry or surveil. But I like Totem Taz up there. So we're going to keep that the way it is. Now we've got 3 different ways to counterspell things. In an unending supply of mana, basically. So Unstoppable Slasher is not going to get through. Let's go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3. We pay 8. We will target... We'll get a second Mind Splice Apparatus. Okay, we get to draw 2. Let's go ahead. I don't think we need the Minor Misstep now. Oh, we just need to discard 1. Never mind. We'll discard the land. I keep forgetting with 3 steps ahead, you only have to discard 1 card. Yawgmoth Praetor. I feel like we should counter that spell. And we can actually pay for all of this, right? So not only did we counter a spell, we now have our own flyer. And our opponent's liking things. What can we do with this? How much is here? 9. 15, 16? We had more with the elves, but good game. That's not lethal. They could have blocked for 1 turn, but evidently they don't have anything to get rid of all the 1/1s. Oh, I still didn't get rid of them. This wasn't enough. Them and their life gain. 2 creatures of my choice. Okay, so we could go from 23 creatures to 21 creatures. That would show me. And this deck is kind of my revenge on all of the token decks that have been destroying me over the last 6 months. There's all these 1/1s that are coming my way. It feels kind of nice that for just one night out of the year, I put together a deck that's able to put them to shame with the number of 1/1s that they can generate. Yeah, see, toughness is 3 already. See what else we got coming our way. Yeah, I need the land. We're going to take the land. And here we also have to worry about counterspells now. But a lot of this is based on making instants and sorceries cheap and coming in with prowess, basically. Can't do 3 damage yet, but I can do 1 and get a treasure. That at least keeps them on. Oh, nope, they just have another Mocking Sprite. They got an easy replacement, which means they could still have a counter spell, but it looks like they've got a 1-drop, like maybe an Opt. Thrill of Possibility, okay. And they throw away their Tolarian Terror. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to throw this out. We're going to go get blue, I suppose. And then we're going to do World Soul's Rage, right? And we'll do 3, because they're tapped out. Get rid of Balmorn. We'll have to use our treasure to do it, but it gives us the Fabled Passage back. Oh, I could have gone back to look at my hand too, right? And put those down, so that was a mistake. Hopefully it's not fatal. They would have come down tapped, so there's a limit on how much that would have helped me. This only gives you 1 clue if you do excess. It doesn't give you, like the other spell, it doesn't give you extra treasure based on the number of excess damage. You just get 1 clue no matter how much excess damage there is. See, they did have an Opt. They're tapping out again. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. We'll do excess there. We'll use the Fabled Passage. We'll go get another island. And if they have a cheap spell, or if they have a red spell, we have options here. That is only 2. Let's try and counter it. This is a good way to find out if they have a counterspell. Or just another Opt or something that they want to burn through to try and draw through their deck. Burst Lightning. That's only 2 points of damage. Okay. I think we're feeling good overall. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can do 6. We get rid of the flyer. That's a lot of treasure. I feel good. I mean, I'm half dead, but I still feel good. Go ahead and put this puppy down. And I think we just hold on to this one. So if there's something that costs 4, oh, that's perfect. We're going to pay for all of this. Auto pay. Didn't even have to use our treasure. Countered the spell and got another creature on the board. Life is good. There's no way they're going to bother attacking. Here, I like this. X damage to target creature, and target creature gets some stuff in haste. So, how much can we do here? Do I keep my... Why don't I just keep my treasures? I won't be greedy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just do 6. We'll get rid of you. We'll give 6 to the flyer so they can't block it. And we will burn 2 treasures to draw 2 cards. That seems like a fair amount of value. Oh, I like that. That's nice. And they don't even know what I had. It doesn't even matter anymore. If they'd put out anything other than a 1/1, they were going to be in for a rude surprise. I think we'll end there on a high note instead of just constantly playing until I lose a match. We did really good. And just getting 1 Mind Splice apparatus down and surviving for 3 or 4 turns, the amount of energy advantage that we have to cast our spells is so overwhelming, especially because we can max out anytime we feel like. And you saw the flexibility we had with just only a couple of spree spells for counter spells, and just any amount of damage that we needed to pour into against creatures, or even if we needed to against planeswalkers. We had the tools in our tool belt. Now, if we do come up against a Shieldred later on in the game, we've already used all our removal spells, and then we draw Silver Scrutiny. That's basically our own death sentence. So the key thing is, if you can help it, if you're going up against black, try and keep one of your X damage spells in reserve. Just be prepared to face a Shieldred, because you really want to be able to cast these Silver Scrutinies. And with a good Mind Splice apparatus out, you can draw 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. And that's really going to change the game right there. Even if you were losing, that'll almost instantly turn the game around. And then, of course, Doppelgang, if you can cast expensive enough Doppelgang, casting that 1 spell enough is also enough to just turn the game around. Depending on the situation, really, I mean, if you get Goblin Negotiation, you get all these 1/1s out, or Awake in the Woods. Depending on how much energy you get out, depending on how many 1/1s you can generate. You just sort of need to build up and survive long enough. And once you've got the energy advantage, any one of these spells in here, any one half dozen different spells, completely change the tempo of the game for you. So, with that, as always, we're going to invite you to like and subscribe. We're going to thank our Patreon, Subject, for being our Patreon. There is a Patreon link below if you'd also care to sponsor along with them. And we'll take your comments. What do you think about the deck? Do you like it? If you want to show, if somebody that you know likes Magic, you can go to my page, go to the playlist, find the Mind Splice Apparatus playlist, share the deck list with them. We have other all X spell decks. We have just basically all of the color pie with going through with the cards from the previous rotation. We went through the entire color pie and made half a dozen different decks. They were all super fun to play. And share that link with a friend. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.